Shivani, join.
Okay, point to Manisha on behalf of
Hello. Hello.
a very good morning to one and all present over here. I, Shivani Shah, on behalf of School of Commerce, extend a very warm welcome to National Webinar on National Education Policy 2020, Novel Horizons in Commerce Education, organized by School of Commerce, Gujarat University. Gujarat University incorporated in the year 1949 is the largest university in the state, catering to the needs of higher education. The current focus of university is on research and extension activities to promote self-employment opportunities and economic growth. The university believes in all-round development and true to its ideals has successfully opened a research park and sports complex, which is at par with international standards. Recently, Gujarat University has been ranked by National Institution Ranking Framework and has been ranked first by the Gujarat Institutional Ranking Framework, which is immensely a proud moment for all of us. Talking about School of Commerce, it is a postgraduate department of Gujarat University, imparting instructions and guidance for the students preparing for MCOM, MPhil, PhD degree. The school was established in June 1976 and offers a specialization in the subjects of accounting, management, statistics, banking, and international business. The vision of School of Commerce is to catalyze students into competent professionals and exemplary academicians in the field of commerce who can bring radical social transformation. The school has been offering higher payment programs, postgraduate diploma in investment and financial analysis since 1995, and postgraduate diploma in financial market and insurance since 2005. The school has launched 3 higher payment programs from academic year 2017-18. The school takes pride that it has pioneering offering programs related to finance and market, which are still at the center of the economy. And it is with the vision of schools. With these new programs, it has gained a first mover advantage by offering courses related to business analytics and forensic accounting. It is my great honor and privilege to introduce our very own director, Dr. Bharti Pathak. Bharti ma'am is a professor and mentor extraordinary, who with a strong analytical mind and strategic thinking has brought laurels to the School of Commerce, Gujarat University. Bharti ma'am joined School of Commerce in 1989, rising to the rank of professor and became the director of School of Commerce, also her alma mater. Since then, ma'am's accomplishments are many, with the most well-known being her book on Indian financial system, published by Pearson Education, the most recommended textbook in many renowned business schools in India. She is also instrumental in introducing many new courses. She also has made important contributions in various areas of finance and marketing. Her dynamic personality has always encouraged the students to dare and think big, which makes her most beloved faculty and director. I now request Professor Dr. Bharti Pathak ma'am to welcome this August gathering.
Namaskar. A very good morning to all of you all. Distinguished dignitaries, Professor Dr. Pankaj Mittal, Secretary General, Association of Indian Universities, Professor Nageshwar Rao, Honorable Vice Chancellor, Gujarat University, Dr. Jagdish Bhavsar, Honorable Pro Vice Chancellor, Gujarat University, my colleagues and participants. It gives me immense warmth and great pleasure to welcome you all to the webinar National Education Policy 2020, Novel Horizons in Commerce Education. It gives me tremendous contentment to offer the welcome speech among the most esteemed personalities who have won accolades in their respective fields. Today's webinar is on national education policy, and the chairman of the National Education Policy is Dr. Kasturi Rangan, an esteemed alumni of Gujarat University, of whom we are all proud of. National Education Policy 2020 aims to transform the education ecosystem regardless of social and economic background. This live webinar is a platform for discussing the nuances of the National Education Policy 2020. This webinar aims to discuss the meaning of new policy for learners, the changes in India's education policy, the impact of eliminating rigid separation of arts, commerce, and science streams by emphasizing on multidisciplinary and skill-based education, the kind of curriculum needed in commerce education to focus on developing a well-designed curriculum structure and academic structure, the role in facilitating and transforming students to become true leaders and team players and to excel in corporate world, and what kind of action is envisaged for successful implementation of this policy. The keynote speakers are Cities is the second woman general of the association. She has a wide-ranging experience of over 3 decades in higher education in policy planning and management of higher education. She has made an exemplary contribution in the development of women education. Madam, I heartily welcome you at this webinar. Our second keynote speaker, Professor Nageshwar Rao, Honorable Vice Chancellor, Indira Gandhi National Open University, has served as the Vice Chancellor in many universities. He has been conferred with many awards, one of which is the esteemed Nehru Literacy Award by His Excellency Vice President of India. He is also actively involved in developing policy framework at the national level for promoting online education in the country. Under his leadership, Indira Gandhi National Open University has become the largest open university in the world. Sir, I extend my heartfelt welcome to you. Our chief patron, Professor Himanshu Pandya, Vice Chancellor of our Gujarat University, is a man of action. After taking the reign as a Vice Chancellor, the university has achieved a new vigor and vivacity. His vision, commitment, and solution oriented approach has culminated in several constructive events, thereby positioning the university in the top 50 universities of the country and first among the state universities. He is a constant stimulus and inspiration for all the activities in the school. Sir, I cordially welcome you at this webinar. Our patron, Dr. Jagdish Bhausar, Honorable Pro Vice Chancellor, Gujarat University, has been awarded by the Honorable Vice President of India for his work done in Bharat Scout and Guide. He is the regular columnist in many newspapers and magazines. His role in encouraging students for bringing out their best is exemplary, and he has always supported us in all our endeavors. Both the Honorable Vice Chancellor and Pro Vice Chancellor together make a great team. Sir, I express a very warm welcome to you at this webinar. It is also noteworthy to mention that more than 550 participants from all the country have registered for this webinar, which reflects the keenness to know about this policy. I once again extend a cordial welcome to all the dignitaries and also express my gratitude and gratefulness for gracing the webinar with your words of wisdom and with your august presence. With this note of humble gratitude, I welcome one and all to this live webinar. Thank you very much. Now, I request Ms. Shivani Shah to introduce the keynote.
Our first speaker is Second Woman Secretary of General Association of Indian University, Dr. Pankaj Mittal. She has been serving policy and management of university education for over 3 decades at Apex Regulator of Higher Education, the University Grants Commission of India. As the first regular Vice Chancellor of Bhagat Phool Singh Mahila Vishwavidyalaya Kanpur and developed a Gurukul into an institution. During her tenure of Women's State University, she introduced a series of innovative practices and reforms in the education system from KG till PhD level. She has visited many foreign nationals such as USA, Canada, Australia, China, Spain, etc. to present papers at international conferences and for academic exchanges on behalf of UGC. She had also led a delegation of 15 vice chancellors to UK for academic collaborations. Ma'am is honored with awards for her work. To name a few, first Padma Shri Shubhashini Devi Award in 2018 for contributions in societal development and community engagement from the Chief Minister of Haryana. Quimbro Gold Standard Award for Leadership in Duration in 2018 and President of India Award in 2017 for digital initiatives in higher education. Dr. Mittal served as a member of various high-powered committees and professional bodies, including Program Advisory Board and HRM Network Steering Committee on Human Resource Management of Association of Commonwealth Universities, London, UGC Pay Review Committee for university and college teachers. Apart from that, she has published a number of papers, articles, occasional papers, and reports on issues relating to higher education and women empowerment in national and international journals. I would request ma'am to grace this August gathering.
Namaskar. Namaskar. Thank you very much, Shivani, for a very, very generous introduction. Hope I am audible.
Yes,
Is it
ma'am.
okay? Okay,
Yes,
Shivani, you also have to tell me that how much time I have with me.
Ma'am, I'll intimate you. You can start to grace the audience. I'll intimate you, ma'am.
Okay. So first of all, I am grateful to the Gujarat University, Vice Chancellor Professor Himanshu Pandya and Janendra for inviting me for this particular webinar and for giving me an opportunity to share my views with all of you. I'm happy to see that Professor Nageshwar Rao is there. He is a stalwart in the field of higher education and I would say Paramata of national education policy. So he will be telling you many, many more things about the national education policy. Sir, my namaskar to you. And to all the panelists and all the participants, a very good morning to you. And what I was thinking was that we have been talking about this national education policy for a very, very long time. And almost all the aspects of the national education policy have been discussed. So I feel that today I should concentrate on how to implement the national education policy, because everybody knows that it is a forward looking, innovative, student centric, democratic policy. It has been discussed with something like more than 2 lakh people when the policy was made. So many people were consulted. So it is a truly democratic policy, and I should say it is a पीपल्स पॉलिसी, जनता की पॉलिसी, बिकॉज जनता का इसमें सहयोग लिया गया, जनता से विचार विमर्श किया गया, तो ये जनता की पॉलिसी है, बहुत ही डेमोक्रेटिक पॉलिसी है, स्टूडेंट सेंट्रिक पॉलिसी, क्योंकि स्टूडेंट के बारे में इस पॉलिसी में सबसे ज्यादा सोचा गया कि स्टूडेंट्स के लिए क्या अच्छा रहेगा, बिकॉज ऑल द यूनिवर्सिटीज, ऑल द कॉलेजेस, ऑल द टीचर्स, वी ऑल exist just because of the students. If students are not there, none of us will exist. Therefore, very rightly so, the policy is concentrating on the well-being of the students, on the holistic development of the students, on employability of the students, on making Indian students as the best in the world. So that is the policy, and they have been given a lot of freedom in this policy: freedom of speech, freedom of choosing the subject, freedom of choosing a discipline, freedom of choosing a university, freedom of choosing multiple universities within a program, and freedom of speech. So much of freedom has been given to the students in this policy. So what I will talk to the audience right now is how to implement the policy, and that too from the perspective of the universities, because the government will be doing its work. Some recommendations have to be implemented by the government, especially with regard to structural reforms, with regard to funding the universities, with regard to establishing the ABC or National Research Foundation. So government is doing its own work, but that does not stop the universities for implementing the policy for their good, because the policy is so innovative that if it is implemented in letter and spirit, the policy has the potential to transform the Indian higher education space. So let us discuss what the universities can do about it. Now, when we talk of the first foremost recommendation is the regulatory reforms, changing like HE and all the core bodies like National Higher Education Regulatory Authority or General Education Council or Funding Council or maybe the Accreditation Council. All of these are the domain areas of the government. So let them do that work, and they will be doing this work. Let us come to restructuring of universities. So when we talk of restructuring of universities, then the first and foremost thing which is indicated in the policy is that in future the universities would be either research intensive universities or teaching oriented and teaching intensive universities. They all will be large universities. They all will be multiple disciplinary universities. So what the universities have to do this, that right now the universities should introspect themselves. They should see whether they want to become research intensive or teaching intensive, because every university has its own USP. It depends upon the type of students you have, it depends on the type of teachers you have, it depends upon the location of the university, it depends upon the vision of the university, it also depends upon the industry which is around the university. So the university has to think, one, whether it is wanting to become right now a teaching intensive university or a research intensive university, and then accordingly start planning with that. For example, if you have to become a multidisciplinary university, many universities are multidisciplinary, but like there are many single faculty universities like law university, medical university, engineering university, agricultural university. So if they want to become multidisciplinary, what type of subjects they would be adding? So they should be talking to all those faculty members. They should be, right now a lot of meetings with the faculty members are required. You have to invite external experts to decide what type of faculties you want to add to your university, what type of new academic programs you want to add to your university, so that once you add these programs, the university becomes multidisciplinary. The university becomes a large university. You have to prepare your institution development plans, and right at present, this is the right time to do that. When you prepare institution development plan, you know that our institution from 5 years from now, where do you see from after 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, where do you see your institution? Accordingly, prepare the institution development plan. Accordingly, plan the requirements and the actions which you have to take, say, in a phased manner. So all that has to be done by the universities right now. And if you don't do it right now, I mean, you won't be sort of you won't be able to get the benefit of the policy. So it is very, very important that you start making your IDP. You have to start the startups. You have to start the incubation cells. You have to change the curriculum, especially when they say that the curriculum has to be more creativity oriented, more problem solving oriented, more application oriented. So when all this is to be done, you have to reframe not only the curriculum to have all advanced technology or advanced knowledge in the curriculum, you also have to train your teachers to teach in a different manner. Right now, the teachers are teaching in a normal manner, like the one which is followed in India throughout the country. Most of the universities are following that, in which the teacher is teaching in the class and the students are going and understanding at home. But now, most of the countries in the world, they are following a what we call a flipped classroom approach. Flipped, I mean, it's totally flipped. Flip means it's उल्टा कर देते हैं कि अभी हम क्लास में पढ़ाते हैं, बच्चे घर पे जाके मनन करते हैं. उसमें क्या है कि बच्चे घर से पढ़ के आते हैं, क्लास में मनन करते हैं, क्योंकि बच्चों को शुरू में ही दे दिया जाएगा कि ये आपके रिसोर्सेज, इट कुड बी ऑडियो रिसोर्सेज, इट कुड बी वीडियो रिसोर्सेज, इट कुड बी text. So this has to be given to the students in the beginning, in the beginning of the semester or before the class, so that the students can see that at the home और class में क्या होगा, only discussions, analysis, logical reasoning, तो उससे understanding बेहतर होगा. तो हमारे teachers are right now not trained to teach in the flipped classroom model. So universities have to arrange the training of the teachers so that they can teach through the flipped classroom model, and how to teach, because it's not easy to teach in a manner in which you arouse the curiosity of the students, in which you sort of enable them to do the critical thinking, in which you have to do the problem solving approach, so activity based learning, project based learning. So all that has to be incorporated in the curricula, and that the government is not going to do that. Every university has to do individually for every subject, for every program. So I think the universities should right now start doing all these things. So that will be restructuring of the higher education institutions, having multiple disciplines within a program, having a IDP, and then again the policy says that in future the universities will stop having affiliated colleges. That is, the abolition of affiliation system will be there. So when you're talking of abolition of affiliation system, you need not wait for the government to issue a regulation. What you can start doing is, you have to identify the colleges which are capable of becoming autonomous colleges, which have the capacity to run themselves independently, and for that we have to do the capacity building of the teachers as well as the staff. The university has to act as a mentor for these colleges, so that slowly they start working on their own. The way we teach our children to stand on their own, that way the university has to teach the colleges to stand on their own. So a lot of capacity building exercises will be required, not only for the university teachers but also for the college teachers, also for the college staff. They have to be taught how to say do the admissions, how to conduct the examinations, how to declare the result, how to frame the curriculum, how to train the teachers. So a lot of capacity building is required on the part of the colleges, and the university has to work as a mentor, as a mother, as a father for those colleges, so that they can really survive on their own. And slowly over the time, more and more colleges can be made independent. So university does have a role, does have a responsibility in this aspect. Similarly, now you know that in future the accreditation will be basically the governance platform, because everything will be linked to accreditation. So universities have to start improving their accreditation rating, and for that again, what will be required? More publications will be required, more new technology based learning will be involved, more foreign scholars will be required, more foreign teachers will be required, reputation of the university has to increase. So for that, if you want to improve your accreditation, you have to see right now that where we stand at present, and how we can improve our accreditation, because that only will lead to a better university, in future, because everybody is saying that NAC is there, NAC will be there. That is, NAC is not the old NAC, the new NAC, which is National Accreditation Council, which will be a meta accrediting agency, which will be accrediting the institute, sort of accrediting the accrediting institutions, means accrediting institutions, if I say AI, so they will be approving the AI, and there will be multiple AI. So NAC will be, the existing NAC will be one AI, NBA will be one AI, and there can be many more AIs. So in future, accreditation work will increase, and then a lot of program wise accreditation will be there. So you have to see that each of your program is good, so that the program accreditation, right now it is only for engineering technology, but maybe in future it is for every subject, in many more professional subjects as well as in the general subjects. So program wise accreditation, I feel, will be given a lot of importance. So you have to work on each and every program of yours. Similarly, when the policy says that the universities will be given a lot of autonomy by making a constituting board of governors in universities, and remind it, I mean, right now, many universities complain of a lot of political interference in running the university. So the policy gives you a choice of making a board of governors, but board of governors you can make only when you are having a good accreditation rating. So if you have a good accreditation rating, board of governors can be constituted, and the university can be run totally through the BOG, without any political interference. Even the appointment of vice chancellor can be done by the BOG. That is indicated in the policy. So one should move towards that, when the autonomy and the independence and the freedom which the universities were looking for a long time, that is provided in the policy. You have to know how to exercise that freedom, you have to know how to exercise that autonomy, and how to work in a manner in which, along with autonomy, accountability is also there, because autonomy and accountability go hand in hand. And then again, when they say that the GR has to increase to say 50% by 2035, again the university has to see where they can increase the intake capacity, where they can run the online or ODL programs. I am sure Professor Nageshwar Rao will speak about the online and ODL programs in greater detail. But then, if you because increase in GER has to be a contribution, collective contribution of all the universities, all the colleges. Government cannot be increasing the GER. It is we, means universities and colleges, who will be increasing the GER. So you have to see, but along with that GER, you also have to see that right now the completion rate at 12th level. Completion rate at 12th level means out of 100 people, how many people have passed 12th class? So that at present is 42. That means out of 100 people, only 42 people have passed 12th class. So if 42 people are eligible for entry into higher education, how can we have GER as 50%? So what does that mean? That means the GER will improve only if the school pass outs increase. So towards that also, if university can make some efforts that the school pass outs increase, maybe as an advisory role or as a university social responsibility role, if the university can ensure that the schools in the vicinity of the university, they are getting more admissions, or maybe more schools are there, or maybe more pass outs are there, then it will be easy for your university to have good students for admission and also for increasing the GER. The holistic development is proposed in the policy, and for holistic development they are talking about value education, they are talking about sports, they are talking about culture. So again, it is a responsibility of the university that they include value education embedded in every program. It has not to be a standalone subject like value education. Value education teachers have to act like role models. The teaching of the value education has to be learnt maybe by experience or by teaching both. And then sports has to be introduced, cultural activities have to be introduced. So university has to engage the students in all these activities if they really want to have the holistic development of the students. Similarly, when we come to program restructuring, there is a talk about 4-year bachelor's program. So then again, it is said that 64 Kala Sampoorna education, which the policy is talking about, and 64 Kalas was not only music, art, dance, 64 Kalas included, say, physics, chemistry, medicine, architecture, engineering, humanities, social sciences, languages, everything. So if it is to be 64 Kala Sampoorna education, and if you have to convert from a 3-year degree program to 4-year program, you don't have to wait for the government notification, because the government has already given the policy and already given the recommendation. You have to go to your board of studies, your academic council, your executive council, and convert the 3-year program to 4-year program. You have to provide the provision in your programs for multiple entry and multiple exit. Because after 1 year, if the student is to get a certificate, after 2 years, if he has to get a diploma, so that he can come back to the higher education later in time, or if he wants to take employment, he can take employment based on that certificate and diploma. Then your curriculum has to be designed in such a manner that each year is a capsule in itself. Each year is complete in itself, because unless it is complete, that certificate will be of no value, because he will not be having a complete knowledge of a particular domain area. So when you revise your curricula, you have to see that each year, each certificate course, each diploma course is complete in itself. It is a capsule in itself. So that type of changes you have to do. Plus, again, when I was talking about AC and EC, you have to go to them, change your ordinancy so that the multiple entry and multiple exit route is there. There is a route for lateral entry of students, because multiple entry and multiple exit will be beneficial only if you allow a student in for admission in 3rd year if he is holding a diploma, student admission in 2nd year if he is holding a certificate. So all these activities have to be undertaken by the university to ensure that the policy is implemented in letter and spirit. So please start going to your start holding the discussions with the faculty, start holding your board of studies, AC, EC, so that all these activities are taken care of. Similarly, teaching pedagogy, I was telling you about the flipped classroom model. So teaching pedagogy also, the university right now has to arrange for a number of training programs. There are a number of online, AIU is also trying to have a MOU with one of the foreign agencies which is doing a lot of training for teachers as well as non-teaching staff. So that will be very, very economical way of training through online method. But the universities also have to arrange for online teaching of each and every student, each and every teacher, each and every staff member, so that they can really take benefit of the national education policy. Similarly, when you talk about master's degree of 1 year or 2 years, depending upon whether you did bachelor's or this, or whether you talk about admission to PhD straight after bachelor's program, for all those things you need to have a change in the ordinances, and that you should start right away. We cannot be waiting for the government, and there's no need to wait for the government because government has nothing to do with it. You have to change your ordinances once the policy duly approved by the government has been released. Then one more thing which the policy talks about is internships. See, the policy says that there should be experiential learning to the students. So right now internship is there in some programs, like law is having internship or engineering technology is having internship. But for general programs, there is no internship. So the students, they learn only theoretical knowledge, so there is no practical experience for the students. So the policy says that each and every subject should be having an internship. So what the universities have to do for this, you have to identify right now that what type of internship is required for which type of program, and then accordingly identify corporate houses, industries, offices, NGOs, where the students can go for internship. It could be online, it could be offline, but every university should be having an internship bank. So in that internship bank, you can have the internship opportunities for the students, and if they want to, if they want one, that is compulsory now, that they should be going to one of those internship providers for getting the experiential learning. And I have seen it with my own children that what they learn in the class and what they learn in the internship is totally different. So it's a really good learning when you learn it by experience, which we call experiential learning. So internship bank has to be created by every university. So now we come to the most innovative concept of the national education policy, that is the ABC, Academic Bank of Credit. For those who do not know it fully, I will try to explain it in very simple terms. ABC, Academic Bank of Credit, will be a bank which is like you have a commercial bank. Similarly, you will have an academic bank of credit. In commercial bank, you deposit money. In academic bank of credit, you deposit credits. So how does it work? Like every student, whosoever wants to open an account in ABC, he will open an account there. He'll go there and open an account in ABC. Now, in universities, right now the admission is in the full program, like BA, BSc, MSc, MA program. But then if say BA program has 15 papers, so these 15 papers, in India we call them papers, in foreign countries we call them courses. So these are 15 courses. So in future, the universities have to give admission not only in the full program, but if a student wants to take admission in only one paper or one course, so that will have to be allowed. So again, you have to go to your ACEC to allow admission in various courses. So how the ABC will work is that if a student has got admission in a particular course, maybe he takes admission in 3 courses in Gujarat University, 2 courses in JNU, 3 courses in Delhi University, 2 in Hyderabad University. So the student keeps on getting admission in various courses, and once he completes the course from a particular university, either face to face or online, he goes to the bank, shows them the certificate that I have completed this course with these many credits and this grade, and those credits are accumulated in the account of the student. So he keeps on doing the courses and he keeps on accumulating the credits, and once he has the threshold number of credits, for example, if in a graduation say 120 credits is required in a particular area, so there will be a core area and there will be allied areas. So if in core area he has done say whatever is the minimum number of required credits, and in total he has 120 credits, so he'll go to the university from where he has done the maximum number of credits and tell them that I have these many credits with me, or maybe suppose he has 150 credits in his account. So he says that these 120 credits I want to redeem for a degree. So those 120 credits, the university will redeem and give him a degree, and then his account will be debited by 120 credits, and out of 150 only 30 will remain. Like the way if you take out the money, your account is debited with that much of money. Similarly, when you take out the credits and get a degree in lieu of those credits will be deducted from your account. And then every credit will also have a shelf life. Shelf life, like money doesn't have a shelf life. If you deposit 20 years back, after 20 years also same money will be lying. So here also, after 20 years credits will be lying, but those credits will not, you will not be able to redeem for a degree if the shelf life is over. For example, in courses like history, literature, languages, the shelf life can be longer. But in courses like say AI, data science, augmented reality, virtual reality, IoT, or something like this, where advancement of knowledge is very quick, maybe the shelf life is only 3 years. So after 3 years, those credits will show in your credit bank, but they will not be able, you will won't be able to redeem them for a degree. 3 years, I'm taking an example, it could be 5 years, it could be 7 years, depends upon what the credit bank makes. So when this ABC comes into picture, then the university, what exercise they have to do right now? First, they have to decide whether they want to become a member of ABC, because only the member universities who are the member of ABCs will only be able to exchange credits with each other. And second, if you want to become a member of ABC, you should start changing your ordinances in such a manner so that you are able to give admission in courses rather than a degree, and also enable the students to do a lot of credit transfer, because a lot of credit transfer will be involved when once you want to give a degree through the ABC. So you have to give a degree, so you have to have sort of accept the credits given by the universities, and other universities will accept your credits. So all that mechanism has to be drawn, and that has to be done in advance, because today if ABC comes into existence, then your own mechanism will take 6 months or 1 year, so you won't be able to take benefit of that. So start working in advance so that the benefits of ABC or any other recommendation of the policy can be used by the university very easily. Similarly, when you talk of promoting research, and when there is a policy, say National Research Foundation, now of course National Research Foundation will be made by the government of India. They will be allocating money to National Research Foundation. But what can the universities do right now? They can prepare well-defined frontline research projects. They can keep it ready, because writing a research project is also not a 1 day or 2 days job. It takes 2, 3, 5, 6 months. So you have to keep your research projects ready so that when NRF comes, you can straight away apply to them. And you can have, you can decide, I mean, once you make your institutional development plans, you have to decide that what type of research you want to do, what type of university you want to become. So based on that, in aligning with the university goals and vision, you have to decide what type of research you want to undertake. And for that, you have to work right now, identify the core teams which can be doing research, make good research projects, frontline research areas, whatever research thrust your university wants to have. Sometimes the university wants to become a peak of excellence in a particular area, so start working in that area. So all that work has to be done right now. Again, the policy also talks about assessment and evaluation. Right now, most of the universities are doing assessment and evaluation based on the 3 hour examination held at the end of the semester. Now, once the policy comes into being, it is talking about continuous assessment, continuous evaluation throughout the semester. It is talking about testing the knowledge, creativity, application oriented application of that particular knowledge, not the rote learning. It is categorically saying that the rote learning is not to be tested and not to be promoted. So what do universities have to do in this? If they have to change their assessment and evaluation techniques, again, they have to go to their ACEC. They have to devise the methods of changing, methods of assessing the student, maybe like project based, activity based, quizzes based, assignment based, group discussion mode. I mean, there can be multiple ways of assessing a student. So whatever ways you think is best suited for a particular program, and it could be different ways for different programs, that you have to devise, you have to talk to your student. And then you also have to train your teachers to follow those objects. Because, like, for example, recently there was a Delhi University started with the open book examination. Now, many of the teachers were saying we don't know how to prepare a question paper for an open book examination, because it's not easy to prepare a question paper for the open book examination. It's very easy to make these, traditional type of question papers. But if you know that the student is having a book with him, and then to prepare a question paper, so that is checking the how he applies that bookish knowledge to the problem which you are giving to him. So you have to train these teachers. We cannot be blaming our teachers if they don't know these things, because training is something which is inherent, and every teacher should be trained every year on many new things, and teachers should be having the will to learn. So you even have to have sort of awareness programs for your teachers. You have to motivate them to learn more and more. They cannot be now sitting straight, okay, once I made the notes in 20 years back and then I will be using those notes for 20 years. That is not the scene anymore. They have to evolve every day. So that has to be ensured. The universities have to train their teachers, they have to encourage their teachers, they have to motivate their teachers. So that is very important, that how to change the assessment and evaluation methods. Similarly, in this policy, I think for the first time, a lot of emphasis has been given to internationalization of higher education. Now, internationalization, you may think that it is only the government's work. They will allow making regulations for, say, entry of foreign universities into India. But again, what the universities are required to do in this is first open an international office in your university, because many of the foreign students, when they come to India, they don't know whom to contact, and if there is any issue or any anxiety, whom to approach to. So if you really want to give a professional treatment to your international students, open an international office, identify your areas where you want to really do well, and which courses you want to sell to the foreign students, and then market those courses. Like in AIU, what right now we are planning on is making a consortium of, like, it is called Indian Network of Internationalization of Higher Education, Indian Network on Internationalization of Higher Education, in which we are trying to do sort of a matchmaking. Like many of our foreign universities, many of our Indian universities, they want to do internationalization, they intend to do it, but they don't know how to do it, how to go about it, how to approach the foreign university. That is a very big issue. So as a vice chancellor, I really want that. I want a lot of MOUs should be there, a lot of student exchange should be there, teacher exchange should be there, but I don't know how to go about it. So the network which we are making, there will be universities which are very good in internationalization, there will be universities which are not good in internationalization, but they really want to do internationalization. So there will be a lot of hand holding, there will be a lot of training, workshops, roundtables, so that each university which wants to enter into internationalization, they can really enter into it. So that we are thinking of. So as soon as it is made, you can become a member of that. But till date, right till then that time, you have to make an international office which takes care of international students. You have to improve your website, you have to showcase what you are good at. Again, here also AIU is trying to, we are trying to do is, we are making a AIU Collaboration Portal. So we right now have AIU portal. Now you must be knowing that all the activities of AIU are being computerized. Like today, if you want an equivalence application, you have to do it online, you cannot give it offline. Similarly, we are making a AIU Collaboration Portal, in which we are asking you only, the universities are required to fill what are their best departments. So once you say that these are my best departments, and also indicate that what type of faculty you have, what type of facilities you have, what type of publications, what is the track record of that department. So once that is showcased, so foreign students, if they want to come, say, for quantum physics or for a particular area where your university is good, so they will search AIU website. AIU is having a lot of people know AIU. It's having a lot of presence in the foreign countries. So then they can come to you only if they know that you are good in this subject. So for knowing that, you have to market yourself. You have to use the existing platforms and market yourself, so that the foreign students can come to your university. Similarly, if you want to set up campuses abroad, you have to work on that. You have to identify the core areas of your university or the USP of your university, and start thinking of establishing campuses abroad, so that those students can also learn from whatever you are best at. So for all that, you have to work right now. There's a lot of work on the part of the universities right now. It is the most difficult time for the university when they have to plan out everything. And once you have planned out everything, maybe in 1 or 2 years, then after that it will be a very, very easy cakewalk because you have already planned well. So planning well is very, very important. So that was with regard to internationalization. Similarly, faculty development policy says that the many times our teachers have this problem that whether you teach well or whether you don't teach well, it is the same. I mean, same type of promotion, same type of increment, same type of incentive I am going to get. But the policy says that now you can give fast track promotions to the teachers who are really doing well. So fast tenure track promotions are recommended. So you have to identify that in your university, how will you measure excellence? How will you identify that this teacher is really doing better than many other universities and this many other teachers, and this is the way you want to reward the teacher, this is the way you want to incentivize the teachers. You have to formulate ways for it. You have to train your teachers for online teaching. You have to train your teachers for producing online education resources. OERs have to be prepared by teachers, so you have to train them on how to prepare good quality OERs. You have to see which teacher of yours has the leadership acumen, administrative acumen, and then train them to become future vice chancellors. The policy very clearly says that identify the teachers who are really having the leadership qualities, who really want to do some administrative work, and who can be future vice chancellors or registrars. So train them to become good vice chancellor. It's not that anybody pick up and make a vice chancellor. So if it is a trained person who is trained to become a vice chancellor, he'll become a better vice chancellor. So all that you have to do right now. So unless you do it right now, and lastly, one more thing which I will also talk about is some people say that the policy doesn't talk about the employment or unemployment. My take on this will be, why should policy talk about employment and unemployment? The policy should be talking about employability and unemployability. They are not bothered about whether you get which industry you're going to. They're bothered about whether you are capable of getting a job, whether you are skilled enough to get a job, whether you are employable. So employability is an issue of the university. Employment is not the issue of the higher education system. So the universities may have to make their graduates employable. And how? By integrating skill with the higher education. Skill which is considered as a low prestige thing, as a small thing that has to be, I mean, we have to change our mindset and think that no, skill is also something good. And then you have to not only, when I say skill doesn't only mean or plumbing or electrician or carpenter or something like that. Skilling is in everything. I mean, in every aspect, you can be a good chemist, you can be a good physicist, you can be so many things. So you have to embed or integrate skill with your higher education curriculum. So once it is embedded, our graduates will be employable. They'll be employable in any industry. They need to have soft skills. They need to have communication skills. They need to have computer skills. They have to be technology enabled. So all those skills have to be given to the students along with the curriculum related skills and application oriented skills. So if all this is given, the students will become readily employable. I think I'm using a lot of time, so I'll stop here now. And once again, thank the Gujarat University for giving me an opportunity to speak here. And once again, in the last, I will say that it is for the universities to implement the policy in letter and spirit. And if the universities do it well, everything is well, and the policy will be implemented. We cannot be waiting for the government to take action on everything. Start doing it right now, right today. Just now, you should start working on the policy. So with that, once again, I thank you very much. Thanks a lot. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, madam. Thank you.
Thank you. You're on mute, I think. Yeah, we are not able to hear you.
Yeah. Thank you very much, madam. It was a great honor hearing you. And you dealt with the nuances of the new education policy very well. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Our next speaker for the webinar is Professor Nageshwar Rao, Vice Chancellor at Indira Gandhi National Open University, one of the largest university in the world. Sir have received Doctor of Philosophy from University of Allahabad and ICWA from Institute of Cost and Management Accounts of India, Kolkata. He has been author to many books, amongst them the most popular ones are Administration on Public Enterprise in India and Communication Skills. He has also been guide to many PhD students in management subject. In 2019, Sir was conferred Fellow at Commonwealth of Learning, Canada in Scotland, and Doctor of Literature by KK Handicap Open University, Guwahati. Sir has been awarded Nehru Literacy Award of Indian Adult Education Association, New Delhi by His Excellence the Vice President of India. Apart from that, he is actively involved in developing appropriate policy framework at national level for promoting online education in the country. I would request sir to grace the audience with your valuable insights. Sir?
Yes, I am here.
Okay, sir.
I'm just seeing that how the screen can be.
So that will be done at the level of their whosoever is hosting. They will make it single screen or multiple screen. You can start, I think so.
Professor Pankaj Mittal, Secretary General, Association of Indian Universities, Honorable Vice Chancellor of Gujarat University, Professor Himanshu Pandya ji, Dr. Jagdish Bhavsar, Pro Vice Chancellor of this great university, Professor Bharti Pathak, School of Commerce, Gujarat University, Shivani Shah, the anchor of this event. First of all, I thank the Honorable Vice Chancellor and Professor Pathak for giving me an opportunity to be with you all this morning. We were listening carefully to Dr. Pankaj Mittal. Her canvas is comprehensive, and the way she articulates the critical issues of the national education policy in such a simple way, how to implement it, that is very, very useful to all of us. And we all were spellbound to listen to her on each of the issues on which she wanted to emphasize also. Most importantly, she said that before we wait the government or other agencies to say anything further, we all can contribute more significantly right at this point of time also. She has identified the areas where we can see that how we can move ahead. Of course, I'm happy to see my old friends, Bharti ji also. She is from the same discipline, of course, commerce and management. They are being interlinked for so long. And originally, I am also a student of commerce. So, of course, later on, my entire teaching career, it was in management, but still my mother discipline is commerce. So I know most of you very well. One thing which we have to look into from this national education policy is it talks about the structural changes. It talks about the procedural changes. It talks about the change in mindset. What we are doing for the last 70 years, pursuing the same structure, almost the same structure of education, especially the commerce education, the same will not continue in future. Because when we are talking about the employable graduates, then we have to see that something more we have to give to our learners. The same old material, talking about the royalty accounts, hire purchase accounts, installment or double account system, most of these things, they have become irrelevant, quite irrelevant. And that is being talked about in today's environment. So we have to see that how those changes that we brought about it. This particular policy tells us that our vision, it should be macro by nature. We should not focus only on our own discipline. We have to go beyond that. Multidisciplinary focus, lateral entry, flexible entry and exit, examinations, it should be on the core concepts, not on having the history of so many things. For example, if you remember, most of us talk about the growth of sugar industry, talk about the historical development of the jute industry, sugar industry. All those things, the historical things, talking about those figures and graphs, they do not serve any purpose. What they say is analytical approach. Since your university is at a place where IIM Ahmedabad is there, and what Pankaj ji has said, that initially the material is to be read by the learners, and then that will be discussed in the class. Till now, our structure is that we used to teach first, and then the students, they used to devote time later. In IIMs, what they do, they also assign the materials which the student is supposed to take up, study at home, and then come to the class. And then that is being discussed. That analytical focus, it is now being brought in the national education policy. We do remember, especially those who are in the field of commerce, that Smoky Valley Cafe, this is the first case which is being dealt in the paper of financial accounting at IIM Ahmedabad. And they talk to those people who do not know ABC of accounting. And the very first day, they discuss the balance sheet. It is not the order when we teach accounting to our learners. We say that first you have to go for journal, then ledger, then trial balance, then profit and loss, and then balance sheet. But in this analytical approach of learning, first day we have to talk about the balance sheet. Then we talk about the profit and loss account. And that pedagogy is being pursued for the last 40 years in our field. So at least we are aware that what is to be done for the future and how we can strengthen our pedagogy, especially for our commerce learners. And this, to a certain extent, we are doing it also. And that is why still we can say, if we compare with other disciplines, commerce is a popular and employable course at other places. Now, what we have to do in the change scenario, as Madam has rightly pointed out, that multidisciplinary focus is required. All the 6 papers or all the 18 papers of BCom or all the 10 papers of MCom, they will not be of commerce discipline. We have to add skill-oriented courses, ability enhancement courses, and maybe the other disciplines, relevance of agriculture, relevance of humanities, relevance of language, relevance of technology, relevance of computer science. Can we add those inputs? Can we add a few courses from that? Start thinking on those lines. Brainstorming is to be done. Brainstorming in undergraduate programs, what things we can add to this existing syllabi so that our learners in future, they will have multidisciplinary focus in their total learning. And thereby, there are two advantages out of that. One is their mind power that will be strengthened. They will be much more creative. Again, if you remember, there is a book on Fourth Eye by Pradeep Khandwala, who was the director of IIM. It also talks about the use of the mind power, creativity. And that is also being taught way back 30 years. And what is used to say? Application of both the halves of the brain, left hand as well as right hand. Right hand side talks about the imagination. And this is possible only once you go beyond your discipline. That is interdisciplinary focus, it should be there. And that is why this national education policy is talking about interdisciplinary focus. So how you are going to add your commerce discipline, the subjects of agriculture, the subjects of science, subjects of humanities, subjects of technology, subjects of computer science, then that multidisciplinary focus it will be reflected. And for that, as Pankaj ji has rightly pointed out, that we have to start brainstorming right at this point of time. Government is not going to suggest anything for this context. And we all can do it also. We all know the things are already there. We may feel that there is a big constant that we do not have the faculty of those disciplines which you want to add. You may feel that in your commerce discipline, the people from agriculture may not be there. People from humanities may not be there. People from computer science may not be there. People from technology may not be there. How to add those courses for which we don't have the expertise? You look at it. Already from 2016, government has started a framework of credit transfer. It says that the credit transfer is possible. And what we have done at that point of time, we have passed that regulation, passed that guideline from our academic councils, but we have not implemented. Time has come for its implementation. Right now, during this COVID-19, they planned that this earlier stipulation of 20% should be enhanced to 40%. Even then, your issue that how to go with computer science, how to go with agriculture subjects, how to go with humanities subjects. For that, again, I will tell you, 2016 MHRD has got a portal, Swayam portal, wherein course-wise registrations that has been done, not from today, from 2016, we were mentally prepared for this scenario. Course-based registration, that is what Pankaj ji has pointed out. Program-based registration is not there. If you promote the course-based registration, then only this multidisciplinary focus that will result. If you feel that the courses which are not in your domain, then ask our learners to go for registration in the Swayam platform, which is our own platform, Government of India platform, MHRD platform. And the examination is being done by the National Testing Agency. Popularity, it is very, very popular. More than 2 crore registrations they have been made till this point. 2 crore. And free of cost. Only thing you have to tell your learners, go and register. Every year, twice, this registration facility is available. Even right now also, October 15, or I think today, or because they have extended because of this COVID-19. Otherwise, again, you will have it from January. So twice in a year, course-wise registration is possible. In which subjects? Humanities, social sciences, commerce, technology, engineering, agriculture. At any place you can go for it. And this experiment already being conducted worldwide. There are 2 US platforms, edX and Coursera. They were moving very fast during this COVID-19 period in our country, saying that they are the popular platforms all over the globe. And at that point of time, the people were not aware that we do have our own platform, very popular platform. The courses were developed by IIT professors, senior professors of humanities, social sciences, commerce. And those courses are available on the SWAYAM platform free of cost. Only thing, if you want a certification, then you have to pay that examination fees per paper. 500 or 800, what is the amount? So you will get certification for that course. And what the government says, once you get that certification, that credit transfer is possible in this new framework, for which Madam has said that ABC, Academic Credit Bank, or this can be transferred to the extent of 40% to your institution also. Already the provision is there. Recently, UGC has written a letter to all of us. They have written letters 3 years back also. They have still reinforced it, that please do it. Credit transfer mechanism is there. Courses are there on the SWAYAM platform. Now, delivery of those courses, it is being made through the Dish TV channels. Study at home. Course-based learning, study at home. 33 channels are available. 33. 10 channels, they are earmarked for technology and engineering. And they are being monitored by NPTEL. It is a consortium of IITs. IIT experts, they all are there. It is available on Dish TV channels, 10 channels. 10 channels are for UG and PG. Professor Pankaj Mittal, she was also the coordinator for the PG programs at that point of time. And she has worked hard. She is known because of that courses which she developed at that point of time. She has made a lot of contribution in this context also. Videos are available, 10 channels for that. 4 channels there for IGNOU, 4 channels for the competitive examinations, 2 channels for teacher education. Recently, what the government has thought, let us increase the reach of these channels to the young learners from class 1 to 12 also. So channels are available. They are trying to have 4 hours every day, fresh content. It is being repeated 6 times in a day. One more experimentation which has been done during this COVID-19 period is that most of this material, most of these videos, they are in the English language. Honorable Minister, he took special pains during this period that let all these courses, they must be translated into 8 languages, 8 regional languages. And 8 regional languages, what will be its impact? Penetration, reach to those areas where the people, they do not understand English, Gujarati, Marathi, Tamil, Bengali. Of course, it has to be done in 14 languages. And the deadline they have set is October 31st or so. So by that time, almost all the popular courses which were hosted in the SWAYAM platform, they will be translated into 8 languages. So you've got material available, pedagogy available, contents available. No need to create additional infrastructure in your own university. And what the national education policy says, that your courses, they must be multidisciplinary. Your courses, they must be employable. Your courses must ensure that the learners, they must have the capability to analyze the things. Analytical capability that needs to be enhanced. It is possible without any additional infrastructure. And the tests, they are being conducted by NTA twice in a year. And one more thing which is being emphasized over there, that they normally conduct the tests on objective type and computer based. But recently, even pen and paper examination, that has also been included there. So all sorts of flexibility is there. And if you look at the recent integrated regulations of ODL and the online, 2020, it says that even the online courses for which you can write the examinations with pen and paper. So flexibility is everywhere. And that is why this COVID-19, it has reinforced all of us that the pedagogical issues related to conventional, ODL and online, they are almost the same. And everywhere we have to go for blended learning. And that is going to give the results. Things are available with us. On July 31st, I think, or maybe August 31st, UGC has issued a fresh notification asking us all, including you, to come forward and contribute these SWAYAM courses. Because now they are identifying the gaps also. Because they have got more than 3,000 courses on SWAYAM. And they wanted to see that some more courses are to be added. Gap identification process has been completed by the UGC as well as the AICT. And what they have done, sometimes you may also feel that the courses put on SWAYAM and the courses which you are having, how you can match. During this COVID-19 period, both AICT as well as both UGC, both have done the matching work also. Now you should not worry. If a course on SWAYAM is there, which a student clears, it matches which course of your curricula that is being clearly shown on the website of UGC and AICT. Credit transfer mechanism has become much simpler. We should not be afraid of the things which have been stated in the national education policy. We can get it implemented. Already the infrastructure, the facilities, they have been created for us. They have been doing for since 2016. These Swayam Prabha channels, they have come up from 2017. And number of courses, they're adding it. Now its translation is going on. Adding new courses. Matching of the existing courses with the conventional university courses. Still going on. And most of you are contributing a lot in this endeavor of the government of India. And the thing is, these national resources, which are available almost free of cost, that needs to be used by all of us so that we can have a better curricula available for our learners. It is available, only thing you have to coordinate. You have to see that how the people, they start looking into it. You can add any course there. See the SWAYAM platform. See the courses on agriculture. And you say that now these courses, they will be also added in the BCom. See the courses on SWAYAM. Some courses of humanities you can add and say these courses will also be from added in the BCom. How that will be studied? SWAYAM certification, and you will get the credit transfer to your curricula. No extra effort. That is why Madam has rightly said that you have to do the brainstorming. How to integrate the available national resources, available technological resources, for which government has spent a lot. We are not using it. If you look at that credit transfer facilities available to us, 40%, we are using only 1%. We rarely think that credit transfer, whether we should go for it or not. Even we don't believe the credits of other institutions, other universities. You forget about it. Now Government of India is with us. It says that this is the mechanism which they are doing it. Course, only course they are emphasizing. Easily you can add a course on computers, a course on agriculture, and a course on humanities from July 2021. Without making any extra, only thing you have to change your syllabi and go ahead. Your course will become multidisciplinary, because you have to only thing ensure is that the students be asked that go to SWAYAM platform, where the material is also available in your regional language. They have to clear that examination. NTA conducts that examination, certification by the Government of India, and the credit transfer is with you. Thereby, we'll see that how the value of your degree that will be enhanced. Great beginning, and the great results also will get it. I should not stretch too much on it, because we all know that what is lateral entry and what is lateral exit. Since they have said that after an year, after 2 years, the gradual withdrawal is also possible. ABC, Academic Credit Bank, is there. So the movement is from program to course. Earlier, if a student who has to appear in 18 courses of BCom, he has cleared 17 courses, he could not clear one single course. His effort for the 3 years, it will go waste. Now, 17 courses which he has cleared, that will be put in his ABC, Academic Credit Bank. Every course which he clears, it is his course, and he will earn credit for that. It is not so in our earlier existing system. Lots of national resources that are being wasted. MCom, 10 papers are there. 9 courses he has cleared, but 10th he could not clear. And you said that stipulation is within 4 years he has to clear it. Now what will happen? All the 9 courses for which a lot of public money was spent, because in most of the cases we give the concessional fee also to our students. Government support is there a lot of on the public funded institutions. And this entire effort of clearing 9 papers, it will be wasted. Now in this new education policy, we say no, course is important. 9 courses, feel happy. 1 course you could not do it, don't worry. Whenever you find time, you do it. So that is what Madam has said, ABC. So it's a great beginning. We all have to come forward, apply our mind, and start doing the needful, as Pankaj ji has rightly guided to all of us. Thank you very much. Thank you for giving me a patient hearing. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. You have given us valuable insights into how to do the brainstorming, design our academic curriculum, and how to link our curriculum with the SWAYAM platform. Sir, really we are highly thankful to you for the precious time and for the valuable inputs that you have given to us. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Further moving ahead in the event, the chronicle of major initiatives undertaken and institutional paradigm shifts that have swirled around Gujarat University are nothing short of amazing, and the man behind this, our dynamic and energetic Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor Himanshu Pandya sir. He is he is a pioneer in initiating startup and entrepreneurship council GUSEC, which has been open to support innovative technology startups.
Shivani, thank you. Shivani, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I think these people are very busy. They are stalwarts working in the area of education, helping people and students and systems like us also. They are very busy. We should not take their time. First of all, I would congratulate Mr. Bharti Pathak for organizing such a wonderful seminar on National Education Policy 2020, especially focused to the commerce education in the country. At the outset, Dr. Mittal, Professor Rao, and the listeners, it's been immense pleasure for me to share this webinar with such a big stalwarts in the field of education. I know these people since long. They are talking of policy and basics, how to evolve with the current system and how to produce learners-based educational institution in the country. And their role and their contribution is monumental. So once again, thank you very much, Dr. Pankaj Mittal and Professor Rao, for being with us. And we are constantly learning from you. When we say national education policy, this is much awaited. Since last 35 years, people were waiting for some sort of changes in education system. Everybody was whistling that it should be there, something should be there, inter and interdisciplinary approaches should be there. We need to evolve with our curriculums. We need to add some hands-on training to our academics, and we need to have something like distance learning program where students can learn things at their convenience. Now, with this policy, we are fortunate that the policymakers and framers, they are alumnus of this great university, Gujarat University. Dr. K. Kasturirangan, he is our proud alumni. Prime Minister Modi, he is again a proud alumnus of this university. And the keen of implementation of this policy, they are also associated by one or the other way adjunct faculty, adjunct professor with this university. Let me give you some glimpse because it is really necessary for the benefit of the audience that what this university is doing. As Professor Rao mentioned, the Swayam and Swayam Prabha, they both are delivering the academic content for the benefit of the students and the system. We, being a university, we contributed 26 programs to this Swayam channel, and I think more than 11 programs for DTH programs. With our EMRC capacity, we have produced the highest number of programs for distance learning and DTH channels. As far as the inter and intradisciplinary approaches are concerned, we have 7 faculties with us, including 7 medical colleges in Gujarat University. And I can share with you that we stood 44th rank nationally for NIRF ranking this year. This is all possible because of the hard-working teaching and non-teaching staff at the university campus. They are dedicatedly contributing whatever they can do for their own practices, and they are evolving with their practices. They are coming out of the orthodox box and they are thinking something different. And the result is we have 3 incubators with us. One is a DST incubator awarded by Department of Science and Technology, that is TBI, Technology Business Incubator. Then we have Niti Ayog's Atal Incubation Center with us. Then we have Ministry of Industries MITI Electronics Incubator with us. We have 2 finishing schools with us and a research park. This is very unique to any state university where industry and academia are working together for the benefit of the students. And I can proudly say that United Nations, UNICEF, all big pharmaceutical companies, you name Zydus, Troika, Cadila, then Alembic, then Sun Pharma, they all are on our board. We have Indian Army on our board, DRDO on our board. We have more than 8 academic institutions, those who are excelling in their activities globally. They are also having their association with Gujarat University in terms of dual degree program and certification. Professor Rao rightly mentioned that if you really want to do something, you need to evaluate the policy, what your regulatory bodies are offering time to time. Based on that, we have dual degree program with foreign universities, and we have extension activities and collaborations with more than 10 foreign universities in terms of faculty development program, then trainers of training and training of trainers, and student exchange and faculty exchange and whatnot. With this particular background, let us come back to the national education policy. This policy is aimed to holistic development of student. Whatever chapters are there, I remember the words of Dr. R.K. Sridhar, who is instrumental in framing this policy very closely. He said that this is not another regulatory framework what we are proposing to the country. This is something which was need of a time, where we are looking for the holistic development of the students based on the learning capacity. It's not about to produce PhDs and MPhils and degree holders and gold medalists. It is to address a knowledge-based, a learners-based education system in the country. And I'm really happy that across the country, there are a lot of seminars and interactions are going on. People are busy in framing and understanding this particular national education policy and its chapter and its merits. As far as the learners-based education is concerned, my personal opinion is, if you can avail a facility where a designer, a thinker, a philosopher, a software engineer, and a doctor, they all will sit together, they will understand each other's requirement, and they will work on a problem where they can answer the question what exactly an industry or society is looking for. तब जाके कुछ होने वाला है, नहीं तो ये एकेडमिक एजुकेशन पॉलिसी फिर से वही ड्राफ्ट बन के रह जाएगी जो आज से 35 साल पहले किसी ने बनाए थे. And to implement such things, we have to have a university system evolve in such a way that they can understand the crux of this policy. Dr. Mittal rightly pointed it out that the ABC of the education is really very important. Academic bank for credits. If a medical student wants to undergo a training in linguistics, if you can become that much flexible, then and then this ABC would work. But mind well, this is not about the freedom of choosing the subject. You need to justify. हमारे यहाँ बोला गया है कि स्वतंत्रता और स्वच्छंदता में बहुत फर्क है. So if you are framing a policy where inter and intradisciplinary approaches are welcome, but not at the cost of education. You cannot randomly select anything. If you are a medical student working for the pharmacology and you need to understand the Sanskrit word, you need to understand the Sanskrit language, and that's how you can opt for the Sanskrit with the medical. So this is the proper justification. But this cannot be worked out at the government level. This can be worked out only at the council level and appropriate bodies at the university system. So I would second what Dr. Mittal proposed here, that our university system has to change a lot. They need to work, in detail, that how you are going to be a research university or a teachers university or sort of a combination of both. When we are eradicating our affiliation system, then the campus department at every university will be a focus of education. So we need to strengthen our research and teaching capabilities in the campuses. Each and every department would be your constituent college like a structure. So you need to have that sort of manpower available to you, that sort of laboratory facilities, library resources. So the important part is to avail the facility and to create infrastructure based on the futuristic evaluation what you are putting for yourself. And to me, I think we need to understand first what is my particular capacity as a university and how I can develop further. So I have to have a roadmap for coming 5-10 years that how I'm going to work with this particular change in the policy. Government and UGC only can give you a draft or a regulatory framework where they only can suggest you something. They can give you guidelines to deal with that. But when it comes to the implementation part, university has to work on this particular topic. And it is not that easy. Dr. Mittal rightly mentioned that we need to start working right now. Ma'am, I'm happy to share with you that in our recent meetings, Government of Gujarat has formulated a task force, and there are different capacity stakeholders are there. Professor Rao can second me that we have experts from IITs and IIM in the task force, and they are looking for the fastest implementation of policy in the state of Gujarat. And I think by the end of this month, we'll be ready with the recommendation and suggestions to implement this National Education Policy 2020 in the state of Gujarat. So I think we'll be the first to announce the implementation of National Education Policy and its framework, how to go with that. We are ready with the bifurcations of universities and selection of disciplines and how to go with the curriculum and everything. So within short span, we will be announcing all this to the state, and every university, as per my knowledge, last week we had a meeting with Honorable Education Minister, and in that we proposed that almost all universities, they have passed this particular implementation of National Education Policy in the state of Gujarat. With this particular note, once again, we would like to invite Madam Pankaj Mittal and Professor Rao for another webinar like this. And thank you very much for being with us. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Inspiration. So you are really a man of action, and under your leadership, Gujarat University will take leaps forwards.
Thank you, ma'am.
School of Commerce, I would request Professor Dr. Hemal Pandya ma'am to present vote of thanks.
Good afternoon to one and all. I think I'm audible. Am I? Okay. On the verge of completion of today's webinar, first and foremost, on behalf of SD School of Commerce, Gujarat University, it is my privilege to honor and thank esteemed speakers of the day, Dr. Mrs. Pankaj Mittal, Secretary General of the Association of Indian Universities, and Professor Nageshwar Rao, Vice Chancellor Indira Gandhi National Open University, New Delhi, to spare their valuable time from their busy schedule and grace this occasion by their expert comments on the implementation issues of NEP 2020 and come up with a new multidisciplinary approach to the higher education system of India. I am highly thankful to our dynamic leader, Professor Himanshu Pandya, Honorable Vice Chancellor, Gujarat University, and Chief Patron of this webinar. Due to his continuous motivation and support, we have been able to organize this webinar. Under his active leadership, Gujarat University has attained several milestones of success within a very short time span. I am also highly thankful to our respected Pro Vice Chancellor, Gujarat University, Dr. Jagdish Bhavsar sir, for his motivation and to organize this webinar. He has been always supportive to all the activities and initiatives taken by School of Commerce in academic perspectives. I am also thankful to Dr. Jayendra Jadhav, Associate Professor, Gujarat Commerce College, to help us in approaching our honorable keynote speakers of the day. I am also thankful to Mr. Sagar Panchal of GUSEC, Gujarat University Startup and Entrepreneurship Council, to assist us in the technological arrangements of this webinar. I am thankful to Dr. Bharti Pathak, our beloved director of SD School of Commerce, Gujarat University, for providing me the opportunity to work as the co-organizer of this webinar. I am thankful to all my faculty members of School of Commerce for their kind support and cooperation in organizing this seminar. I am highly thankful to our dear senior research fellow Mr. Dhaval Nakom, who is the would-be defining and Commerce, Gujarat University, Mr. Ketan Shah and his team for their active participation in organizing this webinar. Lastly, I am highly grateful to all the participants of this webinar from various states of India for showing their keen interest in attending this webinar and making this event a grand success. All the participants are requested to fill up the form from the given link, and as soon as they complete this procedure, their e-certificates will be generated. Thanks to all. Thanks to one and all. Once more. Good afternoon.
Pankaj madam, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you so much. राव साहब,
Thank you.
I'm highly grateful.
CEC की मीटिंग में मिलते रहते हैं. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much to all of you. I'm highly grateful to you for giving us your precious time. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am.